What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromRetail. Alright, this story is called I Don't Know How to Email. Can't you just do it for me? Our store allows customers to email their print jobs to a server, which will then send back a code straight to their inbox and allow them to input it into the machine for quick and easy printing. All of this is fairly obvious. We have signs posted everywhere, not to mention we tell everyone how to do it when they ask us. This is a self-service option. Any order placed with me, a full-service employee, is done online or in person, and it's obvious you are expected to pay more for that service. We explain this to every customer. Not only that, but once you get to the machines, it's printed clear as day on how to follow the steps, what the email is, and how to input the code once you get it. The steps are simple. Press your option, print, put your card in, select how you are printing by USB or email, put in your USB or your code, then print. However, if you've ever worked in retail, you know just as much as I how people don't read. Regardless, for the sake of customer service, I swallow all these thoughts down and try my best to help. A woman comes in and tells me she needs to print from her email. I tell her how, and she is almost immediately angry.
I don't know how to use email. Can you show me how?
I actually don't know your email or the service you use. You would have to find your documents and then I could—
Why can't you just print it?
Well, you need to email it over to this first so we can access it, and I'll show you how to print it over on our self-serve printers.
You have printers back there. Just print it.
She moves her phone closer to me. I step back slightly. Unfortunately, I can't touch your phone due to the delo, and this is our full serve area. If I were to print your documents, there is a mandatory percentage upcharge to have them printed on the spot. You can come back at time to pick up your order if you'd want to waive that fee.
It's one page. You can't just print it. I need this now. I can't wait.
I'm trying to hide my frustration since this is the third time I'm having this conversation, and I've got $1,000 jobs that need to be finished. Her 15-cent job doesn't matter much to me. No, I can't.
Fine. How do I do it again?
I tell her.
I can't get it. Something's wrong.
I look to see that she is getting an error that she's not signed in to her email. You just need to enter your password.
I don't know my password.
I don't know your password either.
What good is that? My phone service just changed and my husband needs these documents printed, so now I don't have access to the right email, but I need these documents.
Well, you can just hit reset password and follow that.
No, because it's gonna try to text me the code and I don't have the same phone service. Why don't you understand? It's so simple.
I'm trying not to hit this woman. Ma'am, we are not your phone company, neither are we your email service. You are using our self-service area. I've done everything I can for you, but this is something you will need. She goes to interrupt me, but I raise my voice so she can't. To solve! If you can't access your documents, there is nothing I can do. I can't print what's not in front of me. I can't pull it out of thin air.
Your job is to help me.
And your job is to have your documents ready to print. Now, I have other customers I need to help. When you get your document ready, I'll be glad to help you. At this point, I just ignored her while she sat there and shouted every so often,
It's still not working.
There was nothing I could do. Every avenue I tried to go down to help her, she blocked off. Besides, I had a line of 6 or 7 behind her. I'm only one person and I can't sit there for half an hour and play IT. That's simply not my job. She ended up calling the manager over, who spent nearly 2 hours with her, only to find out those documents weren't even in her email. She threw a fit, but I was so busy I didn't get to hear it. Wait, OP, don't go! She might need your help in the bathroom later. This story's called, You Couldn't Have Checked the Shelves First? Sorry for the format, I'm on mobile. So I work in a retail discount store that I'm pretty sure is specific to the East Coast. We sell the basic stuff, food, snacks, home decor, makeup, toys, electronics, outdoor stuff, you get the gist. So today I'm over in the home section setting up a new summer display. It should have been set up like a month ago, but because of delayed shipping due to COVID-19, we barely have half the stuff that's supposed to be on display. So if you work in retail, you know how annoying it is to have to set up a new display. I'm in the middle of taking down the shelves from the old display and repositioning them to fit the new one. So there I am, sweating balls in an 80-degree store with barely any working air conditioning, trying to remove the shelf from the display. I finally get it off and stop to take a breather. Here comes Karen.
Can I bother you for a second, hun?
And before I can bother to give her an answer, she starts explaining that there's an outdoor chandelier in the garden section and she wants it. The problem is, apparently it's the last one and it has no box, as it's obviously the display model. She asked me to check it out and see if I can find the box so she can buy it. I go over and take a look and notice she's not alone. Her husband is with her. I start pretending to look for a box. I know for sure that it doesn't exist and probably got thrown in the baler months ago, but I get the idea that she's not the type of customer who's gonna let me go without at least pretending to look for it. But before I get the chance, her husband starts explaining to me that he wants to make sure this model actually works first. It has no batteries, so I call one of my managers, because she's my friend, and ask her to help me out. She goes to find some batteries to check that it works, but not before telling Karen's husband that she believes the reason this model is on display, we don't display every model, just some, is that a customer originally bought it and returned it because one of the lights didn't work. As she's off finding batteries, Karen's husband starts explaining to me that those guys who returned this lied to y'all. There's clear signs of damage and I can tell they used it for a while before returning it, so that's why one of the lights doesn't work. I let him keep explaining, but I know this isn't true because the signs of wear and tear he was describing were basically invisible, and the rust he pointed out was clearly just a chip in the paint that probably happened during assembly since it was right next to one of the screws. At this point, the whole ordeal has already taken up about 20 minutes of my time. My manager returns with the batteries, and lo and behold, the light doesn't work. Just like every one of us could have predicted. Karen's husband goes to open his mouth and say something, presumably to ask her a discount for the broken light, and then,
"Oh look, I found
says Karen. Apparently, she turned 45 degrees to the left of the spot she's been standing in for the last 20 minutes and realized that this display model was not the last one we had, as she had earlier exclaimed. In fact, there's an entire shelf of them right next to her the whole damn time. In hindsight, I should have definitely looked for more of them. But honestly, I was leaving in an hour and I just wanted to finish that damn display and go home. Lesson learned. Well, yeah, that's all well and good, but like, if that shelf was so close to her, then like, why didn't you see it? Like, I feel like it should have been obvious. Like, I get you just wanted to go home, but come on. This story's called, Guy Calls the Wrong Store, Gets Impatient When He Has to Wait. And so this was a few weeks ago when the lockdown was still going on where I am and we were only doing curbside pickup. Our store has a paint area, and even despite the lockdown, we'd have sometimes over 8 different customers at a time, either coming to the door wanting us to mix them paint or calling in with what they want. I was at the front door where our cash register was set up, ready to take customers' orders for anyone who needed something in the store. This guy comes in and says he he called ahead to have some paint mixed, and came from another town over 40 minutes away to get it. He gives his name, and I look over all customer orders that were set next to the door to find his order, and there is nothing. I told him I don't see any paint with his name on it, and he got pretty aggravated, saying that he phoned over an hour ago to get it mixed. I asked him if he got a name of whoever it was he spoke to on the phone, and he said he didn't. All he knew was he was speaking to a woman. There was only 2 people in the store that day who would have taken the call. So I quickly asked the worker in paint if she took an order for this customer, and she says she didn't. So the cashier gets on the phone and calls up to the only other person who would have, with the guy seeming to get more aggravated and impatient. I could hear the cashier say on the phone, "You don't take a call for paint either?" The guy butts in and says, "Well, that lady took my info for my paint." I wanted really badly to say, "You don't even know who it was that you were dealing with, so how do you know it was her?" But I kept my mouth shut. So I asked the guy if he has the number he phoned so we can figure it out. He pulls out his cell and pulls up a Google search. After a moment, he shows me the number. I recognized it as a number for another store. This store was under the same ownership as ours, but about an hour away from where we were. I told him that the number for our other store is in another town. He says, "Well, why would that number come up on Google?" I told him Google uses your location and will give the number of the store much closer to him that matches his search. And technically, this store was closer to where he lived than where ours was located. I don't know why he didn't just go there. I said it's best to never look up a phone number using Google, and that it is much better using our company website to get the correct phone number. So I phoned down to the other store to just make sure that is where his paint was, and sure enough, that is where he phoned. He asks how long it will take to get what he wants made. We told him there are at least 5 to 8 customers ahead of him getting paint made, so it would be anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. He gives a long, annoyed sigh and says he'll wait outside. So while the person in paint was continuing with orders, I kid you not, this guy was coming in every 2 minutes, disregarding the safe distance from the other customers, asking if it was ready yet. We kept telling him no, there were still people ahead of him, and to please wait outside to observe the social distancing rules. His behavior was really starting to get on the cashier's nerve. So after 30 minutes, his paint was finally done. As he's paying, he says to the cashier how inconvenient this all was for him. And as he left, the cashier called out, "Have a good day, sir. I'm glad we could fix your mistake." She told me he quickly turned and just darted back to his vehicle. Well, that guy was behaving rudely, but it's good the paint business is still booming. This story's called Coupon Chaos. Kinda long, but kinda worth a read. So a few years back, I worked at a candle store. We would sometimes have a coupon out that involved getting one item valued up to $15 for free with an order or something like that. So I'm working the register one day while my manager was in the back room, and this family comes in. Mom, dad, and a son that look no older than 3 years old. So they're browsing around the store for a little while and come up to pay, and they have that coupon. A majority of coupons have on the back printed 1 per customer a transaction, and this one did. So they each put their stuff on the counter, and I started to scan. And there's
Wife?
me.
Store manager.
Did you find everything all right?
Yeah, we're gonna use this coupon on this order.
Oh, I'm sorry, but unfortunately I can't do that because the coupon can't be used multiple times during one transaction.
But it says right here, once per customer. We're more than one customer.
I understand that, but it really won't let me scan a coupon more than once during the same transaction. It'll pop up as an error if I try to scan it twice.
Well, can you just try?
I guess they thought that I was lying and that it would magically work if I tried again. My manager had walked back out and I had her come over and talk to them. She told them the same thing I did, but the wife was still arguing. I heard my manager say,
Technically, we're not even supposed to let customers share coupons. You have to have your own separate ones. But I'll do your transaction now, and if your husband steps back in line, we can do a separate one for him so he can use it as well.
So my manager finished up her transaction and let me do the rest. The family left and I thought that was the end of it. There were 3 or 4 customers in line and I was busy ringing them out, so I didn't pay attention to see if the family had left the store. Next thing I know, the same husband and wife sent their son up to use the coupon. Yes, a 3-year-old boy. She handed him the money, the coupon, and 2 candies and said,
"Go take that up there for Mama."
I was like, seriously? My manager was right next to me and was like,
"I've got this. Just switch over to the other machine."
She was not having it with them and told them she wasn't going to let him use the coupon, even though the wife argued that her 3-year-old son was in fact a paying customer. They left the store huffing and puffing but didn't come back, so I figured it was over with. A few hours later, I was getting ready to clock out when my manager said,
"You'll never guess who I just got a call from. Remember that family earlier? That was the husband on the phone. He said they've already got an attorney and will sue me and the company." I told him to go right ahead.
I ended up working there for another couple of months, and my manager never heard back from the family or their attorney. But man, those Karens will go bonkers if you don't let them use coupons how they want to. I admire how your manager handled that. That family was really trying to get some usage out of that coupon. It reminds me of when you're a little kid, but you're just past that age where you get free stuff, like kids eat for free or something like that. And so anytime you'd go there, your parents would be like, "Oh yeah, he's 8," and you'd be like, "What the heck? I'm 11, man." And they're just like, "Shut up." It's like, why are you doing that? So embarrassing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.